Welcome to another episode of The Active Center, constructed by David Seppi.
Welcome. So today we're looking at something that
The Active Center's Christmas 2025 special feature. We're looking at something that, operates almost invisibly in the background of our economy.
the financial side of religion.
Exactly. And your sources reveal a financial structure that is just, it's massive.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The scale is staggering. We're talking about an estimated, $1.2 trillion annual enterprise?
That's the number, yeah. From a 2016 study. And to put that in perspective for you,
Yeah, please.
that's roughly 3.9% of the total U.S. economic output. It's this quiet but powerful powerhouse that goes far beyond just congregations.
So here's where it gets, for me, really interesting. A huge chunk of that, about $437 billion, comes from faith-based businesses.
And they're not just existing, they're actively setting industry standards. And some of these operators are household names. Let's take Hobby Lobby. They employ over 43,000 people. And their minimum wage for full-time staff is $18.50 an hour. That directly challenges that low-wage model you see in so much of retail.
It does. And it's not just about the hourly wage. It's about that long-term investment. You look at a company like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They're famously closed on Sundays. But through their Remarkable Futures initiative, they've given out over $162 million in scholarships.
To how many people?
To more than 100,000 of their team members. So an entry-level job suddenly becomes a real springboard for education.
And for a perfect example of how that pays off,
Yeah.
you just have to look at In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, absolutely.
The CEO, Lindsay Snyder, makes sure their store managers average over $160,000 a year.
Which is why their turnover is so incredibly low. That's a direct line from employee well-being to, operational efficiency. It's a model other chains envy.
Right. And this entrepreneurial spirit, it's really diverse. It's not just one tradition.
That's a great point.
You've got the Halal Guys, a Muslim-American enterprise driving international job growth. And Patel Brothers, from a Hindu Jain background, acting as this huge economic anchor for immigrant communities.
Okay, so moving past the corporate side for a second, there's this massive, almost invisible social safety net.
Right. Congregations allocate these huge budgets to what they call mission and benevolence.
Which is basically pure charity.
Essentially, yes. Your sources estimate that at $158.8 billion a year. That's for food pantries, addiction recovery, homeless shelters, things that function as a backup for local government.
So that $158.8 billion is directly reducing pressure on public resources.
A huge amount of pressure, yeah.
But this, it brings up the question that always comes up, taxes.
Of course.
Since their core activities are tax exempt, does the sector actually contribute to public funds?
Absolutely. This is a big misconception. While the institution might be exempt, the wages paid to hundreds of thousands of employees are not.
And those employees generate significant tax revenue.
Very significant. If we just combine the federal income and payroll taxes, so Social Security and Medicare, we're looking at over $44 billion flowing into federal programs every year.
$44 billion.
And that's before you add another $15 to $25 billion in state and local taxes from their non-exempt activities.
So the upside and the tax contributions are clear. But the picture isn't purely green, is it? Let's pivot to the friction points, the costs.
Right. And these costs are, they're more localized. They usually come from legal and social conflicts.
Specifically when religious exemptions clash with anti-discrimination laws. Is that what we're talking about?
That's the core of it, yes. For example, a religious organization might invoke an exemption to only hire staff who follow certain theological tenets.
Okay.
And that can directly conflict with state or local civil rights laws. These disputes can lead to very expensive, drawn-out legal battles and public backlash.
Which could then affect stock prices or consumer sentiment for any affiliated businesses.
Exactly.
So a final summary then. We have this massive, multifaceted force contributing over $1 trillion, setting high employment standards, funding nearly $160 billion in social services.
And putting tens of billions back into the government through taxes.
A pretty complete picture.
So maybe the final provocative thought to leave you with is this. Given that the sector generates over $44 billion in annual federal and payroll taxes alone, consider the broader impact. What happens to federal programs, to infrastructure, if that economic activity was diminished? Or if those foundational exemptions were changed?
A lot to think about.
It's a vital force in the U.S. economy, and one you'll certainly want to continue exploring.